The Zone Coverage Podcast Network.
The Andy Lucanary Football Machine.
Autobots, transform! I like this kind of party!
Straight cash, homie.
Starts now.
Welcome back to Thunderdome for another Zone Coverage Football Machine, Zone Coverage Podcast Network. I'm your not so humble host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine, and I have equity. More equity than Howie Roseman made by signing Christian Hackenberg on a dare. Or do you think it was a plant to just pump up his DBs, like, they're down on themselves?
Yeah, probably not. But man, immediate pick city.
That was strictly a geographic signing, right?
I was thinking about that.
Like if Rashid Hagman hadn't been a dirtbag again off the field, like he would have been a Vikings camp, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, you have the measurables, right?
Or something.
Big.
Well, he also has
a large
incredible
man.
combine.
Yeah,
phenomenal combine.
no, I know, but as far as his
But
measurables,
like, also, yes, he is a big human.
big.
Is the Falcons' defense underrated in terms of just having
Yes.
super fast athletes?
Well, it's
all
not
over
just
the
super
place?
fast athletes, but that helps too. Especially because that new linebacker they got, Oluokun.
Bet that's Steve.
One more time?
Foyesade Oluokun. I said it the same way. That's all I need.
With confidence.
Yeah, he looks like he's already ready to play. So they'll have Dion and Oluokun, Yinka, on at the same time. Plus, they got a bunch of athleticism in the secondary. Caller, who we got?
What up, Don?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, it's a good way to secure the bag. That way, you don't have to be embarrassed playing against Kyle Sluter.
I mean, do you blame him? Hey, Andy, did you
What?
see the video I just sent you?
I did.
Why did I never see this video before? It is the greatest music video
I don't
ever.
know. YouTube's
wow.
this new site. It's great.
Well, I need to see this. Holy crap.
It's amazing. I don't even know where to begin with it. Anyway, back to non-reality of it all. What happened to the kicking game today? Like, did nobody want to? They all went Blair Walsh today.
Yeah,
We apparently still have a kicking competition. I don't know.
Yeah, they're both losing.
Oh, I think we're going to be losing in the end here. I just can't wait to see that. Yeah, I know, right? Blair Walsh had the last laugh on this one.
No, question on this. Which team has been more snake bitten by kicking issues? Because Gary Anderson, Blair Walsh. Yes, Buffalo had Scott Norwood, but that's a one-off. I'm trying to think like any
That's
other
a big one-off, my friend. That's the Super Bowl. I mean, how much more of a one-off can you get?
No, that was a divisional championship game.
Didn't the Browns also get a kicking related?
No, Red Right 88 and also like Ernest Biner. I don't think they had a kicker.
No, yeah, Red Right 88. They should have kicked.
What's his name? Against the Raiders when they were down 14-12 in field goal range, but their kicker at the time, I forget his name, former Redskin, he'd missed three easy
Yeah, that's
field
Red
goals.
Right 88. Yeah, that's why they chose not to kick. That was it.
Yeah.
Was he a barefoot kicker? Please tell me he was.
Oh,
No,
so.
That was
wasn't.
such a stupid
it was,
error.
God, I forgot. It was a straightaway kicker, and I forget his name. He been there with the Redskins for forever and a day, and I forget his name.
Oh, well. Not Mark Mosley, right? That would be great if
It was Mark Mosley.
Oh, my God, no way!
Yes, way. Good call. It was Mark Mosley.
MVP. Wow.
Yeah.
How far the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, he just shanked them. He did the same thing against the Jets, too. So he redeemed this. He missed a 24-yarder against the Jets in the playoffs, like I think the year before.
That's rough.
And then against the Raiders, he missed like 29, 34, and 38. And, yeah, and that's why they didn't go for a field goal against the Raiders.
All right.
Speaking of Raiders, I'm still pissed that he missed Janikowski missed a 76-yarder.
Was that a fair catch kick?
I don't recall.
He missed it by a few yards, though.
I mean, that's your opinion. It's their fault for
You know
kicking to
who
the
would have
wind.
missed that? You know who would have missed that kick?
Who?
Kyle
Kyle
Sluter.
Sluter. That's
Oh my god.
What, Don? What will you do if Sluter wins the QB2 job?
what do you mean if?
What are you going to do when he wins the QB2 job?
He isn't going to win the QB2 job. He's
He's
going
gonna
to
win
win
the
the
QB1.
QB1. What, you guys are like so down on this guy. I don't get it. Like, what the hell? You know, I mean, Arif has already admitted that the team hates him. I mean, he spoke about that on another podcast, which we won't name, North Code. But anyway, it's just, I don't know why they have against him. They signed him to like a ridiculous amount of money. You know, it's not his fault. They screwed up and signed Cousins to like $155 billion. Like, hey, if they know better, just, you know, admit their mistake, make Cousins the most expensive backup for now. You know, put Sluter in.
Well,
they're going to go 19-0.
My issue with Sluter is that he's still raw, got all the leg skills, but I mean, like 4
What are you
years
talking
ago,
about?
4 years
Still
ago,
raw.
he and Rashad Hill were trying to figure out Y blocks against like Louisiana Tech together at Southern Miss.
Whoa, and Corey Robertson.
And Corey Robertson. Redshirt Corey Robertson.
What do you mean he's still raw? He's like threw 38 touchdown passes today from the unofficial chart that I had.
Well, against Jacksonville.
Well, yeah, I know.
Minus Jalen Ramsey. They were hurting.
Well, okay, so he probably
is
would
the
only thrown
dumbest
35 instead of
conversation.
38 then. But again, it's not his problem that Ramsey was too scared to show up, okay?
Right.
It wasn't his fault. You
Yeah.
know. Can you really blame Ramsey, though? Let's be honest.
You can't.
If he's scared, get a dog.
Yeah, hey, exactly. So what else is there? So O'Neal did another good performance today, though, as well?
Yeah. What are we defining as good?
No, I thought he had a good performance.
Better than Hill.
Oh well, then yeah.
Well, I mean, Hill wasn't even on the field, but
Yeah,
yes.
so then yes.
Yeah, no, I thought he did well. I mean, especially given sort of how, and I didn't get to watch a ton of the offense, but from what I watched, I mean, given like how talented, you know, Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell are, yeah, I thought he did pretty well. I wouldn't say, you know, he was like perfect or anything like that, but no, I thought he did a pretty good job.
And Arif, you want to take back the whole Hughes might not start by the middle of the season or not yet?
Wait, is that what I said?
Yeah, I asked you last week or a week before if Hughes could start by mid-season, replace Waynes. You're like, probably not.
Oh yeah,
How
no,
do you-
he's not going to replace Waynes. He'll start in the nickel. He's not going to replace. Are you? Come on, dude.
What? Come on, dude, what? Let me ask you something. If Wayne struggles at all, you don't think they would put him in there?
There's such a conservative staff. I don't know. I don't think so.
And real quickly before I go, who could possibly they be trading or trading for or trading away?
What the secret surprise trade?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for a sneaky trade.
Simeon?
That's the phrase, right? Sneaky trade.
Simeon?
That's not sneaky. I don't even think Mac would be sneaky. Sneaky is a weird word to use. Like Holton Hill, like someone's like, we should have drafted him based off of this hype. I don't know, man. This is tough.
Weatherly for Evan Dietrich Smith.
Oh,
Wow. Let's throw up a little bit. Yeah. That sounds good. Also, I think he just goes by Evan Smith now.
Whatever.
Jari Evans.
You don't have to trade.
Bar Mac for Khalil Mac?
Sneaky trade. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Now-
Yeah, that's it.
What if they just made that trade just so Green Bay couldn't trade for him?
How
Just
crazy would that be?
Yeah, we heard. We actually tapped Green Bay's. Like, we heard he was on the. So we had to get right in front of that.
Yeah, like Khalil is flying to Green Bay, and they someone's on the plane. They just down it in MSP. They're like, "Oh, we have to land." Someone is vomiting uncontrollably. It's completely not Epic Hack at all. This is not a plant.
Medical emergency.
What are the chances of Mac getting traded, do you think, at this point?
I mean, not
Khalil
that
Mac?
high. Oh, Khalil Mac? I thought you meant Mac
Yeah.
Alexander. Yeah, Khalil Mac, I mean,
He's
I mean,
too
it's the
young.
Raiders. Who knows, right?
less than 50%, but shockingly
That's still
higher.
pretty high there,
Yeah,
Reed.
shockingly higher than 20. Well, I'm not saying it's low. I'm saying it's not the most likely thing, but it is, like, scarily likely anyway.
I think he and the Raiders have a staring contest that goes into the season, and then like week 6, he's dealt to a contender.
Or, like, was that 2 weeks before the deadline?
Yeah,
Ooh.
Really?
yeah.
I think so. Or do you think... So who is more likely to get traded, Donald Penn or Khalil Mack?
Khalil Mac.
Khalil Mac.
Yeah, they just restructured
Really?
Penn.
Yeah, they did just restructure Penn. So,
Oh, they did restructure
yeah.
Penn.
Yeah.
It was like this morning, I think, right?
Half of his pay is in sandwiches.
But the sandwiches are guaranteed.
Wow.
Now, that's the difference.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I just can't see... I can't see Mac going to the Packers. I just can't. I mean, maybe I can because Gruden would work with Green Bay.
Have you
It'd be
seen...
a terrifying thought to think of that, but...
Have you seen anything linking Khalil Mack to the Packers aside from that Odd Shark tweet? Like, that was so weird that the Packers are the favorites for... I mean, an Odd Shark doesn't own any casinos, right?
They got
so
the
they just
draft
throw
potential
it out.
for it. They got 2 number 1s next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the ammo. Thanks, Saints.
And Gutekunst wants to put a stamp on the team.
That's true.
He wants to have his Reggie White moment.
But there's no, like, rumor. We just know that they have, like, the capability. I mean, the Browns have the capability, too.
Yeah, because how would the how'd the Packers do it? Because Mac ain't playing like elephant or like 3-4 defensive ends.
No,
So
he'll just play Clay Matthews, and then Clay Matthews will play
Kick
inside
inside,
again.
yeah.
Yeah. Which they already have an injury at.
Yeah, and that didn't work out great.
And how bad are the Packer O-line right now? Is it just like a mess or what?
It sounds like it's a mess.
The receiving core is worse, which is great.
Oh, man, that's a toss-up. That's a good question. What is
Don't
worse,
you
their
disrespect
offensive line
top
or their
5 receiver
receiving
Devontae
core?
Adams like that? I had a ton of people in my mentions one day. I don't even know why. Talking about Devontae Adams, top 5 receiver.
And where?
What?
Like, in Manitowoc County, maybe. Barely.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people arguing that, but like, yeah, hey,
Somehow he's better
this
than
is
Diggs.
Randall Cobb's comeback year. Just you watch.
Come back to what? He was never good.
To win, people were comparing him to Percy Harvin.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on.
Is Randall Cobb
I've been told that too.
in his career? Has Randall Cobb been the biggest fantasy disappointment
Tease?
jerker? Yeah.
No, it's got to be Chris Johnson.
Well, over under Julius Thomas.
Oh.
Ooh, that's true, too.
No, Julius Thomas only had like a year and a half of being a tease.
But you kept thinking it's like this is it.
Randall Cobb had like a while of being a tease. I'm still picking Chris Johnson though, because he would still like he'd still like have a 200-yard game, and then like that would be half his career yards, and be like, well, what am I supposed to do with this?
No, what about that running back from Cleveland, the guy with like 100 million touchdowns in 1 year, then you just saw
Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis.
Yeah.
He was on a Madden cover, you guys.
Yeah.
Think about
had
that.
that.
That's the guy with the biggest free fall, I would say.
That had a 6'7" on the soundtrack. That was great, Madden.
I forgot he was on the Madden cover. Holy crap! What were they thinking?
Forgot like great one hit.
That was the one where you got to vote, and it was between him and Vic, and a bunch of people got in their head, and they were like, "It cannot be Vic." So Peyton Hillis, yeah. I mean, of course they were going to vote for like the only white running back yeah, like. I mean, if Toby Gerhart had a good year, he would have been on the Madden cover that year, right?
Probably true.
Especially if like Michael Vick is like the like. People aren't going to vote for Michael Vick.
Gerhart in like a Stanford hat, like a golf shirt.
Remember when he should have won the Heisman?
After
Vote
the
for him.
controversy.
Also,
Was that
Peyton
with Vic
Hillis.
before or after the controversy?
Well, no, this was definitely after.
Was it after?
Yeah.
It was Eagle Vic, right?
Yeah, this was Eagle Vic, right?
Your business.
Oh, yeah. I could see why.
Yeah. Also, out of the two of them, Peyton Hillis turned out to be like a way bigger diva, which is hilarious.
It is hilarious to think about that.
Between him and Toby?
Him and Mike.
Okay.
Vic.
Yeah. All right, so I just pulled up a list of the greatest fantasy one-hit wonders. Peyton Hillis is one.
That's so good.
Drew Bennett, 2004.
Wow, what a pull.
Steve Slayton, 2008.
Do we get Muhsin Muhammad?
He may be in there. Derek Anderson, 2007.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Legend Dunani is on there, too?
Justin Forsett, 2014.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Michael Clayton, 2004. Before him. Mike Fury, 2006.
Ooh.
He just came out of nowhere and had a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, he
It's
spelled
like,
his
what's
name
up?
bad, too.
Yeah.
2 R's and an E.
Yeah, Gary Barnage, thanks to John DiFilippo.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
What about the QB from Tampa? King?
Sean King?
2000?
Josh Freeman?
Was it Sean King?
Sean King, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sean King.
Not the...
Not at real Sean King. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. They were supposed to have a savior out of him, too. Yeah.
Yep.
Heck, even Keyshawn, after Super Bowl year, they wanted, was pretty much a bust after that, wasn't he?
After that year? Yeah, actually, I think after that year, yeah. How is Muhsin Muhammad not on that list?
I don't know. It was an incomplete list because it was on ESPN.com.
Kevin Ogletree, Cecil Shorts III, Laurent Robinson. Those all have to...
Sam
I guess
Cangado.
in theory, 1999 Randall Cunningham was probably a massive bust.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so for Keyshawn, 2002, the Super Bowl year, was his last 1,000-yard season. He put around the league for 4 more years, 1 in Tampa, 2 in Dallas, and 1 in Carolina. Didn't top 1,000 yards in any of them.
Oh, you know who was a good fantasy tease? Mike Williams for Tampa.
Oh, yeah. And then they traded him to Buffalo. Because, like, hey, you weren't quite a dumbass at Syracuse. Just go back there.
Scott Mitchell. I can tell you, because obviously I did fantasy football in the 90s, Mitchell was a huge bust. Huge. I think he had the good year for the Lions, and after that, I think he had 95. He had a good year with the Lions, and after that, he was just downhill for him
John
as well.
Kitna took his job.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Charlie Batch, man.
John Kitna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Batch came in. That was Charlie Batch's first game. Poor guy. His first game forever for Charlie Batch was Week 3, 1998 at Minnesota.
So Charlie Batch ended up being like the 4th or 5th best quarterback from that draft class, I think, right?
I know.
The pride of Eastern
He had a
Michigan,
heck of a- he
who
had a
almost
heck of
canceled
a
their football
run.
team.
Yeah, and
Like,
he was
stayed
like
in
the
the league for
rookie
a
of the
while.
year that year. So or like halfway through the season, people were like, "Oh yeah, he's the rookie of the year." Not even close.
But how many years was he with the Steelers after that?
Infinite. Like, he's still there.
He's still,
Him and Landry Jones are sparring for QB2.
With Bruce Gronkowski, my guy who was there for forever and a day as well.
Yeah. Quarterback guru, Bruce Gronkowski now. Hoodie, got to let you go. We got some other calls lined up. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Peace.
that was a good sign off.
Yeah.
That was pretty solid.
Hey, caller, who we got?
Hey, this is Wyatt from Texas. What's up, guys?
Wyatt, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. So, what are the chances that Laquan Treadwell shines, whatever, does good? So, like, week 6 or 7, right before the trade deadline, maybe we trade him for an offensive lineman?
Wow.
Pretty low, I think.
I mean, if Treadwell's doing good, chances are that Cousins is not dead, so that means that the O-line is holding up
okay, well, that's a bit of an extended kind of logic chain.
So let me say, so if Trevor Siemian is then throwing the ball to Treadwell, do we trade for an offensive lineman? Because then Kirk Cousins is dead.
Well, I mean, we're 1-7, so I guess maybe because we're selling.
I like how there's like no scenario where Andy like admits that this makes sense. That's hilarious.
And I'm the trade guy.
Either they're doing well and then they don't need a guy, or they're doing poorly, in which case they're out. Like, what?
But, as soon as they trade Treadwell, like, that's when Diggs will have his, groin issue, and then it'll be, 2 games out. It's like, oh, Thielen and Zylstra. Light it up.
I mean, on the
Caleb
point,
Jones
if
will be
I'd have
back
told
by
you, if I'd have told you 2 years ago that Case Keenum was going to take us to the NFC Championship game, which you would call bullshit.
Case Keenum, the actor?
Exactly. Well, you would have thought more likely than Case Keenum quarterback.
Yeah. Inca, did you read every comment?
No, I
hope
didn't.
you did.
I read.
did. They were great.
Can we get you to read all the comments on air? Because that'd be hilarious.
Like a mean, like could we do a blogs like mean tweets like they do on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever?
Oh man.
Oh, mean comment. We're doing that for videos. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh man, that should be the middle video. Just ripping off a few of those.
What was it? Treadwell's put up like what 6 touchdowns on roads? Did I read that right? Is that a real thing? Like,
Well, I mean, like in red zone, I don't know that he got 6. I wasn't watching it. But I mean, like, that's red zone drills. I mean, they're all touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
So there's like 80 touchdowns scored during red zone drills, and then the defense had a good day. So we should like adjust what 6 touchdowns means in that context.
Especially if they're like one-on-one
right,
drills.
yeah, where they have like an infinite amount of space to the inside.
Where if it's like 7-on-7s or maybe like 11s, that's probably a lot more so.
Yeah, I don't know that that Treadwell had like 6 on roads,
but just maybe 6.
I know they had 1 or 2 on roads, which power to him. But he scored on Wayne's. He scored on Mac. He scored on Cheryl's. I don't know why that happened.
you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown.
But yeah, I don't think he scored on Hughes though.
No, I don't think very many.
Even
there was a play yesterday where Hughes absolutely demolished Adam Thielen.
That was nuts.
It was crazy.
We were talking about that right afterwards.
It was ridiculous. Yeah,
right.
It might have been potentially pass interference, but there was just like,
nah.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Probably was within 5.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that Hughes is being prepped to be an outside corner? I mean, is that the obvious?
I think he's being prepped to be an everything corner. Because it sounds like he's having a killer camp. Like,
they're just trying to figure out where he can be good, and so far that's everywhere.
Everywhere.
So, in 3 years, is he the Vikings cornerback 1?
Wow. Yeah, why not?
Yes, I would say yes.
Also,
Yinka's even higher on him than I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, if he played 1,000 snaps, he'd be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Like, I'm way high on this dude. And Yinka's like, yeah, he's the best cornerback on the team right now. Come on, Yinka. Come on.
He said 3 years, so give him 3 years with Zim. Yeah, I could see him be CB1.
Bam.
Over Xavier Rhodes, or is this in a case where Xavier Rhodes is gone?
I'm saying
with Rhodes on the
I
team.
I just came out with just a recap of yesterday's practice, and that was one of the things that I said. I'm like, he legitimately could be better than Xavier Rhodes after a few years.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
They could trade for like
great.
Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Peterson, and Yink could be like, yeah, Hughes has got all these clowns on lockdown.
Dig up like 09 Revis. Yep. Hey, Wyatt, appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, man. I'll talk to y'all next week.
See ya.
All right, bye.
All right, so we got fistful of Twitter questions that we'll hammer through as well. Those are the wrong ones. Madden. Anyone play Madden?
Not anymore.
Yeah, I
People
haven't
still play
played a
Madden
ton.
in 2018?
No, I mean, there's definitely people that are obsessed with it.
Oh, God.
I only really play those games 2-player. Like, it would not be something I do on my own.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I enjoy, like, the in-person, well, it's talking trash, reactions.
No, you are boring. My girlfriend's mom is going to buy us a console because she's rich. That's great. And
hey, man.
Yeah. It's, get it how you get it, right?
Because, like, can we get 2?
Yeah. And so, yeah, we're going to get Madden. And I haven't played Madden since the Peyton Hillis Madden.
The cover ruined it for you?
No, I mean, it's just. I mean, I got one Madden. I didn't need to buy Madden for the next 3 years. I get in
an argument with my
Tavares Jackson. Let's get it done.
I get in an argument with my older brother all the time because he was like, he's so about getting the Madden every single year. I'm like, bro, basically what you're buying is like a roster update.
Yeah,
and then like they've gotten to the point where
is that Kuhn
you can down my older brother.
Oh, come on, you should know better, man.
And it's like the games are made nowadays where they update the rosters as it is anyway. It's like you can download the roster updates. So really all you can get, and if you wait like every 3 or 4 years, you'll probably get like better graphics and maybe a more unique storyline or stuff.
When I played Madden quite a bit back in the day, like a lot of the fun was just updating the roster, like importing rookies from NCAA when that was a thing. And it's just like, yeah, this guy is totally going to be, I don't know, who's a big AJ Green.
Yeah.
back then.
I need Kunle to get into the league so I can play as him. That's all.
That'd be sweet.
That's all I care about at this point.
What do you do? What's the
Would you modify his like stats and stuff? Be like 99 awareness. Nah, that dude's dumb. 85.
So you call into Madden and be like, no, I know him.
No,
I know
my
him.
brother is an idiot.
No, I'm on the phone. He's in the room.
62
He's in the room. Doesn't know who I'm talking to.
Did you guys see the picture of the Madden ratings adjustment guy, like a T-shirt? Who's at some training camp? I think that's a real job, or that was just a shirt.
The Madden adjustment guys have been going out to training camp, so
That's amazing.
Yeah, which like
can you imagine Zimmer calling him out?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the players would.
Yeah.
So,
do you guys like Blitz? Are you Blitz fans?
NFL Blitz? Oh my God, that was such a good game.
Yeah.
Not after Luke destroyed me the other day.
Oh, did he? I bet.
We went
Luke
to like this
plays that a
donut
lot.
shop in Dinkytown, and it's got like an N64 with Blitz, and we played it, and Luke crushed me.
Was Luke just there?
And I was like,
oh,
no, we decided to go.
No, it's
up down.
No, not up down.
It's
I know
Nuts or something like that.
Yeah, D's Nuts.
Yeah,
because
which is a great name for a donut shop, by the way. Donuts.
Got him.
Okay.
They're not the greatest.
Yeah.
But,
I thought Arif maybe bought donuts at Up Down.
which is a great place, by the way.
Yeah, we played Blitz, and he just destroyed me, and I was like, maybe I didn't like this game as much as I thought I did. He played with Cunningham and Moss too.
Oh, really?
Damn. That's
I was like, well, I'll play as the Steelers because they had the best defense
Cordero?
that year. Idiot.
Or Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart, yeah.
From MX Missiles, if you could take one player off the 98 Vikings besides Randy Moss and add him to the current squad, who you got?
Who's on OL?
Yeah.
Randall McDaniel.
Jesus, yeah, him immediately. The most underrated guard in history.
Randall
because he's
McDaniel
not in the
over
conversation
John
for the
Randall.
Yeah, I take Randall McDaniel over John Randall.
Yeah, there's no one up note on that defense. Except for Ed McDaniel, except we already have him in Eric Wilson. It's a clone. Caller, who we got?
Yeah, it's Michael.
Hey, Michael. What's going on, man?
So the Vikings seem intent on dying on the Tom Compton hill. So do you still trust them to make the right decisions with the O-line?
No.
Nope. I didn't. We didn't trust them to make good offensive line decisions when they drafted Willie Beavers in the 4th round.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'll say this. I don't think Tom Compton starts. I think they're just putting him there for now because...
Is he the straw man to show that Danny Isadora can overcome immense odds?
Got to get that competition. I mean, they were rotating Isadora and Compton before Remmers got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And now both are just like out there, so you can't really have that competition. Isadora's playing better. He's gotten fewer reps at left guard than is ideal for somebody who's competing for that spot. But yeah, I don't think that they are insisting on Tom Compton, and I don't think the depth chart they put out today is meaningful at all. So, those are my thoughts.
You don't take preseason.
Your thoughts are none of the depth charts on their offensive line is meaningful.
Well, mostly not meaningful.
I think that's really funny. Because it's true.
Yeah, I mean, because it's weird because they seem like they want Brian O'Neill to win the right tackle job, but then they're like, because I think Andy says the tie always goes to the veteran. So why isn't the tie going for the veteran with the right tackle, with the left guard, but not the right tackle?
Well, Compton has more years in the league, even if Isadora has more years in the system. So, I mean, it's still kind of going to the veteran in that case.
I feel like that should work against Tom Compton as well.
I mean, it should.
I mean, it's 4th team in 4 years, man. It's like, I guess the Bears, Falcons, Washington didn't want him. All right.
Yeah. Oh, and also, that's just the last thing is my two surprise makes, because I know Andy's been asking that question a lot. It's mine are David Perry and Chad Beebe.
Ooh. Perry had a good preseason.
I just don't think Perry makes it, man. You've heard me to that.
We were actually talking about David Perry potentially making it today. The problem is I don't know that there's enough space on the defensive line depth chart. I mean, he's that fat. It's that, and he mostly has had kind of a whatever camp until today he looked good against the Jaguars, but he's mostly had a whatever camp. So BB I could see just because he has come on.
Then who are the D tackles they keep then? Because I mean, assuming they're keeping the 5 DNs. Right,
I think Jaleel has shown enough as like a backup flex nose and 3-tech that they're fine rolling with him. So they have a roster spot. And David
Holmes.
Perry. Sorry, bud.
Maybe Jalen Holmes. But yeah, Afadi would play.
What about Chad Beebe then?
No, I could see it. The good thing about him is that he has looked good over the past week. He didn't look very good in the rookie-only session. He didn't look great a couple of days after that, but then he's looked really good over the past couple of days. And with all these injuries that have occurred at receiver with Stacey Coley and Brandon Dilstra, and for a short period of time, Tavares King, he's been able to rotate in, and he's done well enough. I still think he's kind of a long shot. I still think you're more likely to see, Tavares King and Stacey Coley and Brandon Dilstra on the roster above him. But that's not a bad hot take.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep,
Thank you.
What percentage chance would you put on Chad Beebe?
Less than 5.
I'd say like 10.
Still kind of a lot.
It is a lot.
3.
Also from our guy MX Missiles, you have to ditch one for the rest of your life: pasta, rice, or potatoes. What's your pick?
Pasta.
Rice.
Come on, man.
I think potatoes.
Come on.
I got family issues, man. Rice reminds me of my family.
I know it does.
How so? No. I think I might pick pasta. Rice is great. Potatoes, like tater tots. I mean, come on.
I mean, I'm saying tater tots, French fries, mashed.
Yeah, potatoes you just can't get rid of.
I'll do. Although is sweet potatoes included? Actually, that doesn't change my answer. So that's a moot point.
And
Plus,
I grew up on
yams.
rice, so pasta.
Yeah. Tom,
I grew up on rice,
pasta.
so rice.
I've been convinced on pasta.
Yeah.
I can't do rice is great.
At Sweet Skull, if you're visited by your future self in tears and telling you it's too painful, don't root for them anymore. Would you still continue to be a Vikings fan? And what event do you think would cause you to freak out enough to discover?
Man, that'd be nuts. The first thing I tell myself is that.
Yeah, not
all the things. Like,
not like
invest in like random like cryptocurrency X.
Yeah.
Like thanks, dude.
Gray Sports Almanac. President Oprah's eye.
President Oprah.
Like, it's like future self. Like this could be me from next week, and be like, yeah, I understand it. I'm still in.
Buddy, you know me. I don't have much of a choice. It would have to be a player that I liked as much as I like Teddy, and instead of like losing a leg, they might have to like die.
Harrison got abducted by the cartel.
Right, like someone would have in order for me to go back in time, and that being the first thing I tell myself, and I'm crying,
and you invent a time machine in a week.
Yeah, it'd be like a player death. I'd be like, oh wow, that's heavy.
It legitimately would have to be like the kicker shanked the field goal so bad, and it hit my wife and killed her and my 2 children because it had that much velocity.
And then the kicker came over, knocked on your door, and shanked you with a sharpened toothbrush just to. Like, after your family's death, he's like, yeah, you
Damn it, Scott Norwood.
Yeah. Caller, who we got?
Hey, this is Eli from a hotel in Bloomington.
Eli!
Hey, what's going on, man?
Which hotel?
You came into a really great conversation.
Eli Manning?
Yeah, Eli Manning.
The better of the two.
Yeah, I've been meaning to call for a long time, just never lined up for it. I want to talk to you guys about Chad Beebe because I was at camp today, and he looked kind of crazy.
We are having that conversation.
Yeah, no, he's come on the past week. He didn't look all that great at the beginning of camp.
Nope.
So he actually looked pretty poor at the beginning of camp, and he couldn't separate himself from Jeff Badditt and Jake Weineke and so on.
But we also noticed something very different today, specifically today versus previous. They were taking a lot more shots down the field in the beginning of camp, whereas I feel like the last couple of days they haven't been taking as many shots. And with a guy like Chad Beebe with his speed and size, I mean, he's able to eat at those kind of underneath routes and stuff. So,
dare I say a little Wes Welkerish?
I mean, at his best, that's actually
is he white?
Jamison Crowderish. There we go. That's a safe one.
I mean, Crowder's a better. Anyway,
Jarvis Landry adjacent.
It doesn't have his hands. Wes Welker might actually be the best comp. But yeah, I would say, given how well he's played in this last week, that there's something there. But I still think that he is a practice squad candidate more than anything else. And I think he'll slip through waivers. I mean, a small receiver that got like 8 receptions in the preseason. Like
he'll slip through waivers. I don't really think a team would take.
You think even with like Coley hurt and Zylstra hurt, and if Jones suspended, you think he wouldn't even stick for the first 4 weeks?
Well, from my understanding, Zylstra's not going to be hurt for very long. I guess I still don't know about Coley.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though, right? Because you've got the 3 that are locked down, and then you just need to figure out sort of what's happening. Do you keep Kendall Wright? Maybe not. Do you keep Tavares King? Maybe not. It's if it's like, yeah, then like the next 3 receivers are hurt, then yeah. I mean, there's not much of a question. But I don't get the feeling that all of these receivers are going to be hurt by the time, cut downs occur. So it will be more difficult for Beebe to make the roster.
Do you think he'll get to keep 84?
Yeah. Haven't retired it yet. I don't know
why we haven't. Oh, we discovered. Remember why we couldn't? It's because there's not enough numbers for us to retire 84.
They retired too many numbers?
Yeah. Wasn't that what we were talking about last couple weeks ago?
Like 10, 80, 88 are already off the table.
Yeah, so we can't retire 84. I mean, unless we start dipping into like the, I don't know, 70s or something for wide receivers.
Which they should. Yeah.
77. That'd be pretty cool.
Eli, how do you like our fair city suburb area?
Hey, it's beautiful, man. I'm moving up in at the end of the month, so.
Nice.
Oh, yeah? Woo! Congrats, dude.
Got to come to see us at Blue Door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Eli.
Starting at the U.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, you too.
I like Eli. Although, I don't think he can get in the Blue Door after a certain time because he's like 18.
Oh, really?
You just said he was starting at the U. Did you not pick
I thought
that
it was
up?
Eli Manning. I thought we established that.
Eli Manning, also not 18.
True.
So then he can.
They don't allow him after dark. They're like, oh god, it's Eli.
Oh man.
Well, they don't allow him without a
Actually, Eli after Eli after dark would be the next great Showtime show, like after Borat 2 or whatever it is.
I still want to see Jay Cutler some kind of show.
I mean, isn't he on? What's it? Yeah.
Yeah. Is it their show though, or
I
is he
thought
just
it
like
was.
guest
I think
starring?
it's his wife's show.
Like Kanye on Kim's.
Yeah. It's got to eat up Kristen Cavalier that Jay's the bigger star of her show. Just a little bit.
Well, Kristen hasn't really been that entertaining since she no longer part of Laguna Beach.
Like she's only entertaining on Family Guy. Hey, caller, who we got?
Hey guys, it's Nick calling in from Monterey.
Nick from Monterey. What's going on, man?
So I'm glad Reef's there because I had a question that I would like to ask him pretty specifically. So the way that Nick Foles produced in the playoffs last year,
oh boy,
is that indicative that it's the system and the coaching and that Carson Wentz isn't actually good?
I mean, I've facetiously made that argument on Twitter. Probably not, especially because the system did change. I mean, they were the most play-action heavy reliant offense once Foles got in there, but they weren't with Carson Wentz. They were still in the top 8, but they dramatically increased their play-action reliance with Foles in there. But I'd like to think so. It's just they didn't. Foles didn't make the kinds of throws that Wentz ended up kind of earning sort of MVP votes for. So probably not, but I mean, I am so open to that possibility.
I'm there.
And then I did have one other question. So Adrian Peterson, after the knee injury, very heavily rehabbed throughout the off season, and then he was good to go, obviously, for 2012, and we saw what happened. With those types of injuries where you're consistently rehabbing it like that, do you think that lowers the risk of injury because they haven't been doing nothing all off season?
No, because I don't think modern NFL players do nothing all off season anymore. And I think
except for Bryant McKinney,
right? And I think that we have seen persistence of injuries. Like I kind of doubt that like Jason Verrett, for example,
Oh, man.
would agree with
Well, that's
this
just Mr. Glass from.
Well, I mean, or like
movie.
Ryan Matthews, to pick another. Well, he's a former Charger too, isn't he?
Oh,
wow.
He's been out of the league for like 3 years, I feel like. Oh, yeah, look.
I think probably like
He's another addition to my coffee table book of running backs have been out of the league longer than you think and are younger than you think.
He's been out of the league like 1 year, maybe. Here's an old guy, Bob Sanders. But yeah, I just think that we see higher rates of injury incidents than we don't. So I think it is less likely that, like, I don't think rehab makes you less likely that you're going to re-injure yourself. I think it just closes the gap. And I think that there are just so many NFL players that take care of their body in the offseason nowadays that's not the case anymore. Now, if it was like, the 1970s, you'd probably have a great argument. But now I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thanks for your call, man. Ryan Matthews was the 12th overall pick in 2010.
He was good before his like third injury.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Here are the three players drafted directly after Matthews: Brandon Graham, Earl Thomas, JPP.
Oh. Yeah, they turned out all right.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
From Matt Sweet Skull. No, our other one. From Eli. It's Inception. Which Vikings player looks most like a fan who snuck into the equipment room? Besides Chad Beebe. I'll throw that in there.
Besides Chad Beebe. Well, actually, kind of Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But you could go with Kai.
Yeah.
Kai.
Jeff Badette a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not Mike Hughes. He looks like he was.
Which O lineman looks most like a civilian?
Pat a little bit. Rashad a little bit, except he's like enormous.
I feel like Remmers just looks like the big dude that's at every brewery.
I mean, he does, but I mean, the beard really does sell his O linemanness.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if I could pick him.
And he just eats mutton.
Riley Reef actually does look very like.
He's just like a dad.
Very average.
Dad at a water park. Hey, caller, who we got?
You got AJ.
AJ, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, I got a two-parter fantasy one. Have you guys talked about fantasy at all tonight?
Little smidgen, yeah.
Yeah, occasionally.
Oh, cool. So I have about 5 days in a 10-team half PPR ESPN league to pick where I want to draft, and I'm wondering if you guys could pick anywhere to draft. Where would you pick ideally, and who would you want?
Is it a
in
snake?
That spot?
Is it a snake?
Is it a what?
Is it a snake
It's
draft?
a snake.
Yeah, first. Statistically, the first pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, statistically, the first pick does better. They win more often. Even though you don't get the snake until like the very end, it's still pretty powerful to have, like, was it the 24th and 25th pick? Yeah, no, first.
Yeah.
So
auction.
Who'd you pick?
Yeah.
I might go David Johnson.
Well, it's just a redraft, right? It's not a dynasty?
It's a redraft.
Yeah, it's a redraft, and it's is it
half point PPR.
Half point PPR. Half point PPR is difficult.
You can go on zonecoverage.com. Look at our guys.
Yeah, we got
fantasy
guys.
Cheat sheets.
Who's up there? Like David Johnson,
I love
Brown.
Antonio Brown as a first pick.
I mean, you could go Zeke as well too. I probably
Gurley.
Gurley would be
Gurley's
another good one.
I go AB.
Just go full home or go Dalvin at 1. What is up? Plant the flag.
Skull.
All right, what's the second part, AJ?
Well, I was going to ask, I was thinking about actually picking third or fourth, and I was hoping to see if you guys could try to talk me either in or out of David Johnson and Zeke, and just kind of talk about how, their ceilings and their floors with their respective offenses, and if you really believe in the Cowboys or Cardinals offense, because they might be way too running back dependent.
I am not going to talk you out of David Johnson. I think he's a fantastic pick. He's got receiver skills. He's as big as a receiver, and it can be a PPR monster.
Yeah, especially
he's a pretty good running back too.
Especially since the Cardinals are probably going to be bad. They'll be in catch-up mode. David doesn't come off the field. Get a lot of junk time receiving yards from Sam Bradford.
Like a weird thing to say about a running back, but yeah. So I personally would prefer David Johnson in that scenario. Zeke is like fine. If you picked him at 4, that's fine. I just kind of prefer David Johnson, and I think Zeke is in a situation where I don't think the Cowboys' offensive line is as good as it was, which, again, I think Zeke individually is a talented running back. But I don't think you'll get the half-point PPR bonus as much, and I don't know that they'll be in touchdown scoring range. Like, for David Johnson, I don't think it matters because you can just like have him run a go route because he's a receiver. Whereas for Zeke, I think that you do have to adjust your touchdown rate for opportunity. So I would be a little bit less excited about that.
Okay. And then the other, I just want to know what's your guys' preferred fantasy football format down to, teams, auction or snake, or auction or just traditional snake draft, or what's your preferred
auction
format?
12-team Superflex auction.
Yeah, I love
PPR.
I love snake drafts. It's just that I know the flexibility you get in auction drafts to still get the guys that you want.
It's so fun too. Just like the banter back and forth.
Yeah, definitely.
You can kind of drive up prices.
Yeah, you can force people to overpay for guys, whereas
that's fun as hell.
Yeah.
I always put quarterbacks up for auction because people overpay quarterbacks. Except in a Superflex league, then I absolutely do not want people to, drive up the price of quarterbacks. But yeah, no, it's super strategic. And the thing I like about auction drafts is that statistically, the first pick is so overwhelmingly important in a snake draft. It's like, it bothers me. The only problem is the auction drafts take forever. You have to pay attention the whole time.
Yeah, the entire time.
Like with snake drafts, you don't have to pay attention until it's like your pick, and you can just like look up who's available, and then you can just like quickly.
Well, yeah, you could put everybody in your queue, right?
Yeah,
and just like as they get taken off.
Yeah,
Like,
for me, I like 16-team snake draft PPR with the flex.
16, Andy.
He wants Teddy as his quarterback.
I love going deep because I want to know tight end waivers what Tamark Hemingway is doing with his 4 snaps for the Rams.
Yeah, right. You want to keep up to date on Rico Gathers.
Yeah. Now,
see if Darren Fells is getting TE3 snaps.
It's great in a 16-team league because if you get 3 quarterbacks, like someone is effed.
Have any of you guys ever done an offline draft? In 2 weeks we're doing this whole redraft that I just mentioned in Las Vegas, and I'm wondering if you guys have any tips as far as like keeping everything organized other than just like having a physical. I'm just curious what your guys' experience is with offline draft, and if you have any tips to keep it all fluid.
Like the league.
It really is comes down to who.
Have one person not get drunk.
One person
and they're in
should
charge
be,
of the board.
You need someone super enthused, about the board.
The 2 offline drafts I've been at have been parties, and everyone was pretty dialed into making sure that the draft ran on time, as well as having fun at a party. And both of my in-person draft experiences were phenomenal. But you have to have food, and you have to have maybe some like background thing going on, like a movie no one cares about. Just so like just so there's always
whatever.
stuff. Yeah, right.
Who said that? Luke? Where's Luke?
But yeah, I don't know. Like you just got to make sure you're in a group where everybody has the same level of investment into the actual draft. Like if no one cares, great. If everyone cares, great. If like 2 people care, now they suck. So that's the important part is that everyone has the same level of investment, and then you can like figure out like what the food situation is, kind of what the entertainment situation is.
Yeah,
how
and
much you're willing
make sure to obviously have a couple handles of Fireball, right?
Yeah, totally. Also like people really need to like shelve their like egos because in-person drafts there's so much more clowning.
Oh, and there's some annoying people. Like
that too. Yeah.
Yes.
Take 5 minutes to make your pick.
Yeah.
Kirk
Okay.
Cousins.
Yeah.
In the second round.
We're just in a cabana, so it'll be a pretty. Yeah, it's basically just like the league, just like you said.
All right. Make sure that the draft board floats then, in case it falls in the water.
Forever on the clean.
Cool.
AJ,
Well,
you're the man.
thank
Have
you
fun
guys.
out there.
Yeah, that sounds like a ton of fun, man.
Thank you.
Yep. See you, bud. Yeah, my favorite line from the league is when they're renting out Andre's apartment and they're shooting a porn in it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And then Deion Sanders shows up, and then Rafi's like, "Hey, buddy, I don't know who you are, but you're definitely getting chlamydia."
When when he gets back and he's like touching everything and like putting his face on all the furniture. Oh, man. The league.
Let's wrap up these Twitter questions and let's go eat some chicken because I'm starving. At Fairview Farms, who is currently the best or most valuable backup D-line, both on interior and exterior? Edge.
It'd be easy to say Brian Robinson, but the answer might actually be Tayshaun Bauer.
I think.
Well, he doesn't cost anything, so he's valuable. Plus, he's outperforming Brian Robinson.
That's true.
Plus, edge pressure is more important.
I haven't seen really Robinson pop at all.
Yeah, he's been having whatever camp.
I know that people have like slapped me around for influence out there, but I feel like B-Rob could be a cut. I think he's squarely on the bubble.
I don't think he's going to get cut.
I think they're going to let him play out his last year.
But I think if he was cut, that would not be as big a loss as I think people initially would assume.
Yeah, because he sort of is what he is at his age. And if you're saving roster spots, if it comes down to Bauer or B-Rob or B-Rob and Odenigbo,
if we were 2 years in the future, I think Terrence Newman and Brian Robinson would be fairly easy cuts.
Well, I mean, if Newman's playing 2 years, like, buddy, I want what you got.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm saying if this roster was 2 years and they were still the same age, I think those two would be pretty easy cuts, and maybe even Cheryl's would be an easy cut. But he's just so good at what he does.
Chief and O asks, do you think the next CBA, the NFLPA, will try and get rid of the fifth-year option?
Yeah.
You think?
Well, they're definitely getting rid of the franchise tag, but I mean, the fifth-year option is. It's not terrible.
There's so much that the players will want to ask for in the next CBA, and I think that fifth-year option for rookies who they don't even represent yet is so far down the line of things that they care about that they may give up on the fifth-year option in order to get like clearer like enforcement policies and like ratchet down enforcement on marijuana and or make marijuana not an offense in the NFL. Like there's so much more
getting
stuff.
Getting rid of franchise tag.
Yeah, getting rid of franchise tags is way more important to them than the fifth-year option, which is essentially a franchise tag. But like, I think that is so far down the list that they'll give up the fifth-year option in order to get clear discipline, in order to get maybe a bigger chunk of the revenue because was it 47% in a labor-heavy industry is kind of weird. That sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think they'll give up on the fifth and probably still let it happen.
It's lower down on the priority list for sure, but I feel like, all right, so Von Miller came in 2011. He got fifth-year optioned. Olivia Vernon was a third-round pick in 2012, and they both got paid at the same time. It's got sticking.
Yeah, it's weird.
In Von Miller's craw just a little bit.
It is weird.
Yeah. And it's all team-friendly. Like, yes, it is an inflated number, but team can yank that before the third day of the new league year.
Yeah. No, it is super team friendly, and maybe they'll modify the structure of the fifth year option to
have it be guaranteed,
protect players. Yeah. Which makes teams less likely to use it, which players are probably fine with,
and it also doesn't. I mean, depending on the position group, it doesn't really hurt the team nearly as much. So, like a fifth-year option for a running back, not nearly as much considering what running backs.
Yeah, especially once McCoy's contract is off the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to drop dramatically. You're not going to see running backs have a fifth-year option more than like $10 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The only issue is if you draft a guard high and you don't want to pay him like a tackle because the offensive line is like one position.
Yeah, which is funny.
It's just hilarious.
Last one's from Anton Koshkarev. Just going to paraphrase this. How much do you think the Vikings use RPOs this year?
Not a ton.
You don't think so?
No.
Play action it was the first RPO.
I mean, kind of, yeah. I think they will experiment with the RPO. I think that they'll use box counts to determine whether or not they want to run or pass on the play. That's kind of like a pre-play RPO. I saw Justice Mosqueda, who I interact with a lot on Twitter, tweet out that there's that kind of the pre-play RPO where you decide what you're going to do before the play and you run the same play, but you don't have to make a decision. And then there's the post-play one that gets all the attention. I think they'll do a little bit of it, but RPO's exposure quarterback, and Cousins is mildly athletic. He's between Bradford and Keenum, so that's a pretty wide range, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Do you think any of us four could beat Kirk Cousins in a 40-yard dash right now?
Yeah.
Yinka could.
I could.
Hey, if I don't, I'm fast, man. If I don't fall down, I can make it.
Are you more of a momentum, though, or do you have that quick
I haven't run
step?
it. So the problem on both of those things where I fell down, I haven't run in so long.
Yeah.
I still maintain that I'm fast, though. I haven't run in so long that I just, my balance was all off. I just didn't know what to do.
At the higher speeds.
Oh, yeah.
This is...
my hips, I felt them unlock, and I was like, "That's
he doesn't have the Mike Hughes hips."
Yeah, right.
That's like a snake unhinging his jaw.
They were too loose. Actually, is what happened. Yeah, like the snake unhinging its jaw. I was like, that should be attached. Is a thought I had as I was going to the ground.
Yeah, the top of his body was...
Yeah. So my center of balance was off. If I had a week of practicing running, I could probably beat St. Bradford. I could I could beat St. Bradford.
Yeah. Most people could beat St.
I
Bradford.
might be able to beat Kirk if I have 4 weeks of practice. I ran track in high school.
I can beat Kirk right now.
I ran faster than the track captain did in high school. That's actually more impressive than actually running track in high school. Anyone could run track.
Did you go to a 4-person high school? What the hell?
1,000-person high school, man. Fast kid.
Ram question to take us out.
Bloomington Jefferson, 1,000 people.
If there was a snake loose in your house, would you try and catch it yourself or call animal control?
What the hell kind of snake? That's really important.
Bull snake. So not poisonous, but still kind of scary.
Yeah, but I'll try to catch it myself.
Yeah, if it's not poisonous, then I think I'm pretty good.
Rattlesnake.
Oof.
Fucking, of course I'm calling animal. Sorry about that, Tom. Yeah, I'm definitely calling animal control.
You can't get it to.
I mean, I know the notes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just an option. Throw an option there.
Was that part of your music therapy class?
Charming
snakes.
Charming women, charming snakes.
I
baby.
mean, when you have to be, here's the thing about being a music student, right?
You have to learn every kind of music.
You have to you sometimes have to lock yourself into a music room for multiple hours at a time, and you get so tired of paying.
Snake, though.
Here's the thing: you get so tired of playing etudes and scales and stuff, where it's just I just want to try something different. So you learn Looney Tune theme songs.
Oh, I love that.
You learn Disney songs. You learn just to give yourself
the theme
some sanity.
song to Aladdin doesn't actually charm snakes, right? That's
yes, I understand.
Okay.
That. But I'm just saying,
you got locked in the room with the snake. That's what happened.
God, I hate snakes. Freaking hate snakes. Listen to what do you guys got coming up? What are you grinding on?
Oh, I'm going to do a recap of training camp today, and then I also interviewed Ade Aruna, so I'm going to have a pretty long piece about that.
What'd you guys bond over?
Being Nigerian. So yeah, no, he was fantastic actually. I really wish I would have gotten Ifadi as well too. But Ade was, we had a pretty hefty conversation.
Boom. Reef?
Just practice recaps.
Tom, what's going on?
Twins are still playing baseball games, so we'll remember that. I remember that. But yeah, no, and Wolves season coming up. We'll kind of hit the ground running soon with that.
Listen, hour one. I had a good time recapping some Vikings-Jaguars practice action. Looking forward to the preseason game. Shows available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio as well. ZoneCoverage.com/machine. But for Arif and Yinka and Tom, I'm Andy saying, that's hour one. Have a good weekend.